Hi guys. Welcome to my online workshop, and I'm delighted that you've joined me. My name is Chemaines and I am a nutritional therapist, a personal trainer and a Pilates instructor. So I am owner of Chemaines Model Health and I am mom of 2 boys. I have been in the fitness industry for over 10 years now, and I started my 250-pound weight loss journey back in 2006. So it's been a long journey, and on that long journey I have learned a lot, and that's why I'm here today to help you on your journey and teach you some of the tips that I have learned. So I want to help you kickstart your weight loss to drop a dress size by July and continue that road before the year is out. So I'm going to just give you some very important tips that you will have heard about before, but people kind of throw a blind eye to these tips and they get repeated so much that people don't actually understand why they're so important and why we need to take them on board and why we need to understand what we do and how important it is for our body and each of our cells. So of course, everybody and their auntie has been told about walking and how amazing walking is. Now, in my professional opinion, walking is probably one of the best exercises on the planet, along with lifting heavy things, because if you've been following me and are part of my tribe, then you know I lift a lot of heavy things. But I basically started off my weight loss journey walking. So I would make sure that I would do something crazy. I used to do 2 1-hour walks every day with my new baby because I was determined to get that weight off. And now I'm kind of cut back to maybe 3 or 4 1-hour walks a week because I'm so busy and I'm in a place where I can control it. So research and science has shown that walking is probably one of the best exercises for us for losing weight because it activates our muscle fibers, it gets us burning more calories for a longer sustained time, and also walking has been shown to get rid of fat around our belly a lot quicker. So it burns any extra luggage that you have around your core. Walking has been shown to get that off. So I do encourage you to get up and move and get walking. If you want to walk daily, I'm going to say 30 minutes every day at a moderate pace. So that means that you're slightly out of breath, but you can still talk. You're not going to be singing, but you can still talk. And then if you can't get out every day, then I'm going to say 3 times a week for at least an hour, again at a moderate pace. So enjoy it. So you want to visit the mountains, go for hikes, go around lakes. Even shopping counts. So shopping does count as long as it's at a moderate pace. So for all my Dublin people, you know Dundrum Shopping Centre is pretty big and you can get a decent walk in and out of all the shops there. So your credit card might get hit, but you can get some good exercises when you're walking around Dundrum. Okay, my next one, I'm going to touch on food and specifically water. So if you'll excuse me, water is very, very important. And from my experience and talking to my tribe and my clients, yes, you've been told that water is important, but you don't know why water is important. And I know you're all very busy, and I know you don't always get to read the articles that I put up. So the water and carb articles, not everyone has had a chance. So this basically, this is my water. This is my swell bottle. I'm not telling you to buy a swell bottle, but this is how I carry my swell bottle because it keeps my water cold. But inside that, I have high quality filtered water. So the idea that we're drinking more water is that every cell in our body is made up of nearly 90% water. So we are basically made of water. In order for us to function properly and our joints to move and our cells to do what they're supposed to do and our DNA to copy itself properly, we need the proper amount of water. So we need sufficient water, and that would be, we're aiming for 2 to 3 liters per day for your average person. So that will depend on your size and your height. But when we take in water, what we're doing is we're flushing out our system. So we're helping ourselves get rid of toxins. As we sweat, as we pee, as we sleep, as we breathe, we're just getting rid of water and toxins all the time. So we need to keep that movement going. We need the water to keep flowing through us. And we want to get as many toxins as we can out of our body. That way our cells are not clinging onto these chemicals and creating more fat cells, which makes it difficult for us to get rid of any toxins that may be in our body, which causes us to retain extra weight. So on the topic of foods, we've got our water, we've got to get our water in. I would recommend that before you do anything in the morning, that you're getting in at least 1 to 2 glasses of high quality cold water. So you're going to be filtering your water. If it's that important to you, you're going to filter your water so you're getting a higher grade water. The next for weight loss, still in the foods category, is carbs. So not a lot of people know about carbs. I mean, you've heard carbs, you know carbs are bad. You've heard of bad carbs. You've been told that there are good carbs. But this is the basis on carbs. If we take the word carbohydrate, we're going to split it up, and we've got carb here and hydrate here. What that basically means is that carbs make us retain water. So a lot of the weight that's on you right now is water weight. The more carbs you eat, the more your body is going to act like a sponge, and it's going to soak up water. You're going to feel bloated. You're going to feel uncomfortable. This will make you dehydrated and make you constipated. So before you'll get hydrated, you're going to get dehydrated from all these carbs soaking up the water. So we want to, if we are going to have carbs, you've heard the bad carbs, good carbs theory. I have my own carbs theory. So if we are going to have carbs, we're going to go for good carbs. So our best carbs are obviously our fruit and veg. They are our best carbs. But if we're looking for something in the grain family, we're going to look at quinoa, we're going to look at bulgur, amaranth, millet, sweet potato, stuff like that, that's higher grade carbs, that's not going to cause a problem in our system. So I'm not saying you can't have chips and you can't have potatoes and you can't have popcorn and all that, but you have that in moderation, because this is the stuff that's going to make you retain more water. It's going to cause you to bloat. And carbs are actually even on the glycemic index. So what that means is the glycemic index is how sugar affects your blood and how high it makes your blood rise. So carbs have actually been proven to be the highest glycemic count food that there is out there. So we want to try and stay away from that, because the higher our blood sugar goes, the more we're going to release insulin. Insulin is our fat storing hormone, and we're going to crave even more sugar and more carbs. So we don't want that, because we're trying to drop a dress size. We don't want that. So there you go. We're going to walk more, we're going to drink a lot more water, and we're going to be more aware when we consume carbs, and we're going to save burgers, pizzas, chips, stuff like that for the weekend. So I'm not saying you eliminate it from your life. We're just going to make smarter choices and have it at the end of the week. The next one I wanted to cover, the next topic, is sleep. So not many people understand how sleep affects our health and specifically our weight. So sleep is so important to us in the sense that our bodies work on circadian rhythm, and sleep comes into that we're supposed to be asleep at certain hours of the day and we're supposed to be awake at certain hours of the day. So let's say you've done a crazy workout. So I know this. I'll do a crazy workout today, and I know I've got to get some good quality sleep tonight. So it doesn't mean longer. It just means good quality sleep, because my body is repairing. My body doesn't repair when I sit down after the gym. It doesn't repair when I start to have my chicken and broccoli after the gym. My body repairs as I sleep. When we sleep, that's when our body releases the human growth hormone, and that's how we repair our muscles and we grow and we progress in our workouts. So we got to get our sleep in. Sleep has a lot to do with our hormones. I don't want to go too much into detail on hormones, but I definitely will go into more detail in my beta program on hormones, how it affects our health and specifically our weight. But when we sleep, like I said, with the circadian rhythm, and it's basically how the world clock works, our body works in tune with that. We sleep at a certain time, we wake at a certain time. So in the evenings, when 6 o'clock comes in the evenings, between the hours of 6 and 8, our body will start, or it should start, to release melatonin, which is going to relax us and help us get a better quality of sleep. So when we are relaxed, our body will start to repair, the muscles will grow, we'll start to burn off any extra calories as our body uses them calories to repair itself, and then we'll wake, and that's when our melatonin will drop and our cortisol will kick in, and we're ready for the day ahead again. But in that sleep window, we have repaired our body, and that's where we've gotten most of our good calorie burning done. We've had a good night's sleep, we're ready for another day, and we can work out again. So we've got our walking, hormones, carbs, water. I will be touching a lot more on what foods are best, specifically on what recipes are best in my new program, which will contain 2 cookbooks and a lot of other stuff to go with it. And there'll also be a group where you can contact me directly with any questions you may have. Have you got any questions? You're good? Okay, I did get a question earlier from a girl. She couldn't make it on because some of my people are in Dublin now, and it's 2:30 a.m. in Dublin, and I can't expect everybody to stay awake just to see me, although I would like it, but however, next time. So one of the girls did ask me why she was struggling with bloating so much. I didn't get into it with her because I knew that she was going to be in with the program, so she would hear. But for anyone else that has questions and may or may not want to go on the program, a lot of bloating is going to come down to your foods. But from having worked with previous clients, if I get my clients to cut out carbs specifically for even just 5 days and increase their water and their green tea intake, they're going to see a huge difference in their waist and their bloating pretty much the next day. There are some instances where I will have clients with intolerances in certain areas. Maybe they can't tolerate broccoli or their cruciferous vegetables, some legumes. I might get them to cut that out and they will see an improvement within the next morning. But when it comes to bloating, I'm not going to go for a full elimination diet. It'll just be for a couple of days, and you'll usually see that, and the culprit is usually pretty obvious after 24 hours. So with bloating, I would encourage you to maybe just cut out all carbs for a few days, and then go from then on. If you need to contact me, you can contact me on Facebook. A lot of you are in touch with me on Messenger as well. And then there was another question. How do I curb cravings in the evening? Okay, so a lot of people will tell you discipline, and yes, of course, discipline does play a huge part, but we are all human, and I'm a mom of 2, and I'm crazy hectic, and come the evening, I, like others, just want a glass of wine, and especially salt and vinegar crisps, because they go great with red wine, believe it or not. But you can't do that every night. You can't do that every night, because you're going to end up in a vicious cycle where you're going to give in, you're going to feel horrible the next morning, you're going to beat yourself up, your mood is going to be low, you're not going to be motivated to stay on track. So you can't give in every evening. So in the beta program, and in some of my posts on Facebook, I have given tips and snack lists. What are your safer options to go to? And I do have specific options for people I train with late in the evening on what they would go to, especially some of my later clients that might be 9 o'clock at night, and I don't really want them eating that late at night, so I will have other options for them. But the snack list is great because it's a true saying, if you don't buy it and it's not in your house, you're not going to eat it. And I'm terrible for fancy wine bottles just because they look good, and I'll buy them, but then I know they're there, and then I'll just open them because I can replace them, but I can't do that every night. So if you don't buy it, it's not going to be tempting you, and then you can find better, healthier alternatives, and one that isn't going to mess with your sleep, because your snacks will mess with your sleep. They'll mess with your hormones. And a lot of the generic snacks out there now have a high salt content. So they're going to make you dehydrated, and you're going to retain more water. So it's a really vicious cycle. So I would encourage you to just be careful on the snacks, and contact me if you do have any questions. So at this stage, they were the 2 questions I got earlier, and I've covered most of my topics. So if anyone has any questions, of course, contact me on Facebook, or you can private messenger me. The club is Chemaines Model Health Club, and I have my page, which is Chemaines Model Health, or you can check out, if you wanted a bit more information on the program, you can go to my link, and that is findyourmodelhealth.info, and that has some more information on the upcoming program, which is being released next Wednesday, the 1st of June. So I'm pretty much giving that away. And as well, if you've been on this call, you'll get an extra $5. Or if you've even watched the recording, you will get an extra $5 off the price. And for my Irish following, that is a great deal for you guys, because that works out at nearly half the price. So I hope it's there for you. So I'm going to call it an evening now, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time to be with me, because this was my first Zoom and I was a bit nervous, but it's my job to help people, so I've got to do this, and I've done it. I will repost this recording so you guys can go back and get the tips, and then message me if you want. Don't be afraid to reach out to me any time of the day, but I won't reply if I'm asleep, obviously. But don't be afraid. You know, I always reply to you. I'm not really off limits when you guys ask me questions. So have a great evening. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for hopping on. So I'm going to say bye, and thanks again. Bye.